I die tomorrow. I hope you hear these words. I ain't here to flip no birds or sip no serve. Hope the future generations can get this urge. Stay woke, youngin', and avenge these nerds.
Yo.
Cowabunga, my dudes.
Cowabunga indeed.
Welcome to Lag Time Tuesdays.
Listen, don't you bring that juju over here, sir. I'm doing good for now until it decides to shit the bed. But how is everyone's weekends? What did everybody get up to?
Hugo.
It was
Hello,
good.
sir.
It was good. Nothing.
It was a good weekend.
Nothing fancy smancy, which was nice. Good evening, Hugo.
And Pong. What's up, guys? The fellas are in the building today.
Oh, what is up? What is good?
Early starts.
Seabass had to go pick up some food.
Okay.
So I think let's just do a quick bullshit with the chat until Seabass gets here, and then he can do announcements, and then we can bring in our guests.
You can run through announcements before he gets here.
I don't really want to run through announcements.
We'll bullshit. I dealt with sinuses most of the weekend, and that's not been fun.
That sounds like an old man problem.
Bro, I went 30 plus years of my life without allergies. And then like a couple years ago, I had allergies. And now allergies just come when they want to. And it's always just sinus headaches. And I hate it. So not a fan.
Okay.
Would not recommend.
Okay.
But I finished the Marvel Guardians of the Galaxy game, which is very fun.
Oh, I heard it's good.
It's very fun. Definitely should check it out if you get a chance. Finish that, and I'm probably it's a like the probable is so high because I don't know if I want to commit. I could show it unopened, like it's still packaged for years and years. You know what this is. This is the entire Kingdom Hearts collection.
Bro, just play 1 and 2, maybe 3. There's no need to do the other games.
But there is.
No, there isn't. That story is so fucking stupid and confusing.
So broken.
And makes no sense. And at some point in time between 1 and 2, if you want to get more story, you have to play like this Game Boy Advance game. I don't give a shit about. I never know what's going on in the Kingdom Hearts franchise. I just go in and it's like gotta kill the Heartless, and like that's it. I don't really know the story at all because it makes no sense after the first one.
No, Hugo, I did not. Because I feel like I wanted to, and like stream is my internet was still just being so bonkers as of late. And then Sunday I was like, I want to finish this game, and then my sinuses were just like, hey, do you want to play this game and talk to people, because you're not going to do that? And I was like, all right. So I just sat in bed and played it.
Nice.
YouTube it did send. But it was good. I genuinely enjoyed that game a lot more than I thought I was. Like, I've heard good things, but I didn't realize it was going to be as good as I thought it, as it ended up being.
No, it was really good. I've been reading My Hero. My Hero.
I heard. I
am now past the anime. I am past the English run
can we
of
talk
volumes.
About, because now that you're caught up, can we talk about the homegirl who could like morph her arm into a fucking sniper, right? That whole arc, all that, and like
the dark hero arc.
Oh,
he wasn't even really a dark hero. He had just left to go do what everyone else couldn't do. I see like the dark hero or the vigilante arc, then I'm reading it. I'm like, he ain't Batmaning. Like, he's just
not Batmaning. But so in a world where like the public doesn't trust you. Like, come on.
Okay, no. In a world, the public didn't trust you for the first time in generations because of an all-out assault that happened over 2 days.
Yeah.
So I just look that like I'm just poking at it. Like, no, it's been great. Did you? I believe it's going to happen next year. But did you get a chance to see Star and Stripe?
No.
You did not see Star and Stripe.
Oh, Star and Stripe is supposed to be like the American.
I think they show her in the animation, right?
They show her real quick.
Yeah,
like,
you don't. No.
Wait, what are you guys talking about?
Sorry, because we're not doing announcements. We're waiting for you.
Okay. Damn.
Okay, yeah, because I was looking her up and I saw they did an animation panel of her, so they must have kind of how 3 seasons ago when they did the hero lineup for new, and they showed Mirko for the first time, but you literally saw her for 5 seconds, and then
apparently is short as hell. She is a short queen, but
Mirko
doesn't matter. You just keep removing her arms, and she's gonna keep going.
Bro, too soon, too fucking soon.
She's still alive. It's fine.
She is. I know.
But no, so you see Star and Stripe is going to be I think the first arc we get in the newest season. You're going to see what she's about. And she is the little girl that All Might saves in the beginning of the first 2 Heroes movie.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah. That little girl in the car crash, that's Star and Stripe.
Oh, that's wild.
So they tied it back to the movie.
And she grew up to become a fucking muscle mommy. Love to see it.
Her quirk is really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's called New Order. I mean, it's not a spoiler. It's New Order, where she literally says the name of something and changes its rule.
I'm sorry.
Beast.
Yeah.
Yo, that's God mode.
She has to touch something, and then if she touches it, she says, she calls out its name, and just kind of like how in Kings, and you make a rule. She essentially has that.
It's a walking King's Cup.
Yeah. So because she can if she knows your name or something touches you, she can command you or your cells or whatever to do whatever she says. She's really strong.
You know what else changes up the rules for games? Yes.
Right. I'm surprised Mayhem hasn't mentioned anything about. I don't know. Mayhem, have you read My Hero?
I don't think he has.
Good.
I'm getting the throat wet. There we go. It's all wet. Announcements. Yay.
I hate you.
That's gonna be a ringtone. Make sure you guys are tuning in on Law on Twitch. Law, what is the schedule like on Twitch?
Hopefully, I'm back. It's been real turbulent lately. I had a real good stream with you guys last week, then tried to do streaming on Twitch, and that didn't work out. But then I was able to do my Zoom call, so it's got a mind of its own right now. Still on the fence, but I don't know what I will be playing on Thursday, if I am going to be playing on Thursday, because ultimately I've been playing games like I just said before. I finished a Marvel's game on my own because I just want to finish it at this point. It's been so long. I played it in May and it's August. I'm like, yo, I just want to be done. So I want to start something new and kind of start back up where Sundays are my cozy, chill, indie games, and then Thursday are my more long form story AAA games.
Make sure you guys are subscribing and following him on Twitch so you can get that.
By the same token, I don't know the details of the rules, but isn't Taco Bell cause for expulsion from the LWO?
No. Not really.
Wait, is that what you're eating right now?
Yep.
Yeah.
You had Taco Bell delivered?
Yeah. Yeah, I know. Sad man.
You know why Tone's face is just so done with
I didn't feel like driving because I got a really good taco spot. No,
right. Because he knows that there's better spots.
I want to trash.
He knows that there's better spots. He knows that you can order anything else.
You go for this. The Baja Blast. That's it. And go for the food.
man.
I don't think so.
Oh
There's a lot of
man.
food to
So if I explode on this episode, Hugo, I'm sorry.
Listen, nothing's wrong with Taco Bell.
Oh, shut up.
Back to announcements. TV.
I was gonna say nothing wrong with Taco Bell. Choose
No.
choose at your
There's-
own risk.
I feel guilty eating it on air, but you know what? I also don't give a shit. TV. Make sure that
Taco
you guys
Bell's
catch
trash.
It is trash.
All right,
not
it's trash.
What
Only
the
good
fuck
thing
is
about-
trash?
Only
You know
good
what's
thing
big
about Taco Bell is that it's exclusive Baja Blast, and that's the only reason why they're still in business.
There you go. Baja Blast. Make sure you guys are tuned into TV. We're sorry that Val is not with us tonight because Val she couldn't get to watch the movie. We don't want to spoil it for her, so she'll be back on next week. But make sure you tune in into Val on TV Land over there at TV. We're also talking about very interesting topics and everything. I don't know what their topic is this week, but make sure you guys are tuning in there. Give them support and everything, and just show them a lot of love. The ladies got some hot topics that they hit up on there, like the sneaky links topic and everything. Make sure you guys are tuning into Good Souls Phrase. Make sure you guys are also checking out Concrete Kombat on patreon.com/Bonet Studios. This is where you can get some see some exclusive art from me that I have not released to the public, such as the current story that I'm working on right now for trying to submit for the next anthology for Wayward Raven. Concrete Kombat, just to give you guys a synopsis, it is about a journey that Micah Gordon goes through in this cyberpunk world, cyberpunk mixed with a little bit of fantasy. So it's been a little bit inspired by D&D and cyberpunk. Pretty much, will the weight of his family's name pretty much destroy him, or will he live up to his family's name during this journey? In chapter 2, you get introduced to the second protagonist, which is Beatrice. So she has been introduced as well. Make sure you guys are checking out Wayward Raven for the We Suck at Comics anthology at waywardraven.com. If you're interested in getting into comics and everything and want to submit a story, they are announcing for their second anthology. We'll have them on the show in a future date to talk about that. Medusa's Cascade, which was wild this Saturday. You guys went through some shit this Saturday.
Before we get to this Saturday, we'll talk about the Saturday's episode. The newest Across the Plains episode dropped, where we basically made America. Apparently, like that's what we did. There's a place in D&D, just America.
Yeah.
America, fuck yeah, absolutely. So go check that out. I believe next week is an actual play. We are almost at the point now. Oh man. I want to say we start getting to like real spicy reveals. Cause like we just hit one of the machines and we about to things are happening. Y'all gotta tune in. Also, go check out the website because we have awesome art and updates, and we have merch. I need to order merch to make sure the system works. Yeah, listen, it works. So
you ordered something?
We'll talk about it later. But yes, everything works. Let's go.
Cool.
Yeah,
are we done with announcements?
No.
Oh.
Blue Scythe, make sure you check out his album, The Modem. The link is in the description below from whatever platform you're watching on. Catch the Craze, catch them. There are comic podcast brothers from another.
Catch them an hour and 15 minutes ago.
Oh yeah. Make sure you check it out, Pong. He's somewhere in the comments, but make sure you check it out, Pong, at the Twitch top on Mondays and Fridays. And then finally, make sure you check out Mayhem Mike and his crew over there at the Four Letter Nerd on Wednesday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I think we're done with that.
No, we're not done. We're not done. We are not adding one more person to our announcements and highlights, and you need to get their shit. We are going to be highlighting our boy Thomas Tusano of the Tusano Trading Company. Our boy Atlas came to New Jersey. He had to he was doing a lot of work for a gallery that he went to, and he stopped by our neck of the woods of South Jersey and hung out with us. We hung out with him and his boy Ross. They are incredible makers out in the Michigan Ann Arbor area. You can find Tom at the Tusano at TusanoTradingCo.com. He is an incredible artist.
I have some stuff in my cart.
I have some stuff from him. Seabass has commissioned some things from him for me. I have glassware. He's all around great guy and all around great stuff to make and to support.
Also, one just quick shout out, Mr. Oh my God, Mr. Charlie Radio Williams, what's going on, sir? Who dropped a couple shorts recently of his series EVR, which has been so good. I am super proud of him, and I'm excited to see the rest of it when it comes out. So go check that out because he's been doing his thing, and he makes me very conscious that I need to start writing and getting filming again. So
I'm waiting for
shout
him to
out
drop
to the
his.
homie.
I'm waiting for him to drop his Bowser album about you. Law. You're so cool.
All right. With that, we're 15
We
minutes
are
and
not
43
doing it.
seconds
Let's
in.
bring in our guest.
T-Bass is shoving Taco Bell into that hole.
That's right.
Mouth. Let's get to it.
How long can I keep it in my gut before it comes out the butt?
Long time friend of the show, guest of the show, amazing artist, amazing person all around. The homie, I love what he's doing in the background right now. Seabass, bring out our one and only friend, Rich Drezen.
Rich, welcome.
You know,
What's up, Rich?
I'm having a problem with this book. I think it's broken. Wait a minute, it's upside down.
It's upside down. You're fine.
I mean, imagine that.
Everything's all topsy-turvy.
Yeah, nothing makes sense anymore. Just like the humidity, the weather, and health insurance.
There you go.
Yeah.
Fun things.
Rich, it's been a minute since you've been on the show. Do you remember the last time you've been here on the show?
When we used to film in person, I think.
Really?
One of those times.
No, I think so. We did a live stream with Rich.
I'm like, come on, we've had to have done a live stream, but it's been a minute.
Yeah, I think the last time I was on, I think Diane Aragon and someone else whose name escapes me at the moment was on.
Oh, I think that was a panel.
Oh, for the it was either the panel or it was the art stream. Wow.
Yeah, one of the two. Yeah, that was like what?
That's a long time ago.
Yeah.
Either way, yeah.
But were we in Jersey by then?
I
think so.
No, I don't think.
No, when we did that. Well,
I measure time by how long I've been in Jersey now.
I'm sorry.
No, I love it. It's so.
Oh.
It's,
Well,
once you get past the turnpike, it's all green.
So, Rich, since Rich has last been on the show, Rich has been working hard. Luckyzilla's up to 30 issues now. You've been working hard on Luckyzilla. 34 issues. 34. And when we last had you on the show, you weren't married. You're now married to the beautiful woman, Stephanie, who is your life partner.
Yeah.
And it was a beautiful wedding.
Yes.
A Drezen man is taken. No more love letters. That's it. No, and it's been a beautiful ride for you, bro. A lot's been happening for you, man.
Yeah, I mean, quite honestly, why take a back seat when I'm already going 80 and the cops are like, well, you know, not even pulling people over.
Go for it. Go for it.
That's true.
Yeah. At least when I'm not on the LIE, then you know. But like I say, but drive safe.
You live in Long Island?
Yes.
Yeah.
Are you talking shit about my state? Come on.
No, I'm talking shit about Long Island. Long Island.
Long Island's the protection when the tsunami hits the East Coast.
I don't know. I think Long Island would be the first to go.
Rich,
hence the protection.
For those of us who are not in the know, who should be knowing what you do and who our friend Luckyzilla is, can you give a spiel for the good folks at home?
Luckyzilla follows the adventures of ace detective Bruce Deodato, who carries a very special ace. And that ace is the powers of Luckyzilla, courtesy of the Medal of Life, a magic necklace given to him by a talking rat named Ralph. Well, he named the rat Ralph. The rat didn't have a name at first. He is impressed with powers of flight, electricity, strength, and invulnerability. And he uses all of those powers to benefit humankind in the crime-ridden metropolis that is Massapequa Heights. He protects human rights at all costs. He is waging a crusade against not only crime, because crime is a very broad term. There is crime in terms of the law, and then there's crimes against humanity. And he fights a battle against both. He fights a battle against hate, genocide, any of that. He is truly the people's hero, as he speaks for everybody.
The people's
Awesome.
champ.
Nice.
You could say that, yeah.
For this Kickstarter, what you got in store for us, sir? And congrats on meeting your goal already.
Yep,
Dude.
but I'm not done yet. So the goal of this Kickstarter was to collect the first 6 issues of Luckyzillia, which are now out of print. We have tiers ranging from $1 up to $50. It's very affordable. And of course, you can give whatever the heck you want because it's your money. Spend it however you want. You earned it. The goal was to get this lovely 152-page graphic novel collecting Luckyzillia numbers 1 through 6, published between the summer of 2016 and the fall of 2017. Such stories include Beauty and the Bistro, Every Which Way But Lose, and The Terrible Telebomber, which the latter of which was based on a live-action Luckyzillia short film of the same name. Now, $35 pledge will get you the book, and I will ship it to anywhere in the world. And $18 will get you the first 6 books as digital comics. However, if you were to pledge for the book, then you get your name in the book as a contributor. You can also contribute just with a $5 pledge if, $35 is a lot, because I don't want to break the bank. I know not everybody is going to be able to do this. I know it's a lot. Printing is expensive, but hey, that's why I'm doing a Kickstarter.
Listen, it's the fact that, you've been publishing this book for a very long time. You've been doing this book since 2016. It's been you for a while. What people don't know, you were doing a weekly comic strip, and you were doing it straightforward for I lost track of how many months, how many years you were doing it for a very long time.
I did it for 6 years, even.
Wow.
Yeah, from October 18th of 2015 to October 18th of 2021.
Holy shit.
Yeah. And because I'm collecting the books for these collections, I figured why not put the strips in as bonus material. Now, some of the Lucky books, particularly numbers 2, 4, and 6, are made up of some of the earlier webcomics. And some of the later issues, like 15 through 19, and then we have 24 and 28 are made up of the individual strips. Any of the strips that didn't make it into those books is going into the collection volumes going forward. So there's a lot of ground to cover. Yep.
Nice.
Yeah, and I mean there are some strips that I don't feel like putting into the books because I'm just like I felt kind of like how Mike Judge felt when he was making the Beavis and Butthead collections. I'm like, nah, I don't want to put that.
Well, it's your bread and butter. I mean, the thing is, this is what's important about your Kickstarter is that 1, it's fully funded. 2, these are already pages that you've already made. It's just a matter of just sending them to the printer out there and for them to be shipped to people. So it's unlike most Kickstarters that go out there where it's already done. You have everything made, and then you're throwing in bonus stuff, which is stuff that was never featured in those first few volumes. So in a way, it's a great way for people to know your character from the very beginning, because like you said, those books, those first 6 are out of print.
Yes. Well, I'll go one step further, not to cut you off. The series begins at number 1, but the story of Luckyzillia himself begins in Luckyzillia number 7. But more on that when we get to that volume, which, by the way, I have started working on Luckyzillia Collection 2.
Nice.
Nice. Yeah. So, I mean, I figured, I'm fully funded. I just got to confirm the spelling of everyone's names. In fact,
He got stuff to show.
Also,
I already got these.
Irelis.
I already
Hey,
got the
you
shipping
look-
supplies. 'Cause, I mean,
Nice.
why not? Yeah.
Also, too, to add to this too is that for a lot of people who don't know, Rich does make his comics very kid friendly. So if you were looking for something that's very kid friendly for kids too, again, still a great read for adults and all that because you do touch up, like you said, on these topics and everything. But it
Yes.
is a very great kids friendly book.
Mhm.
Going to shows, you've been very like out there making sure to make it a fun convention for kids, especially those who have their first time. Like you do a lot of fun stuff for kids, like you were making frisbees with the little stickers on them, you were doing coloring things, and you even did a board game right there, the board game. So
Didn't you
And-
paint everything for the board game?
My wife and I painted 43 of these Luckyzillas. We
Holy
still
Christ.
have another 10 or so that are unpainted, which I am down to just one sellable copy of the game. So I have to get to work on that. But after the Kickstarter finishes is when I'm gonna do that.
I feel like
That's-
that'd be great, like add-ons for like.
You know, I thought about that, but then I decided I'm going to do a separate Kickstarter for the game because
Okay.
I could go through those 10 games like in maybe 5 or 6 shows. 'Cause, I mean, some shows will be busy and I'll do gangbusters, but other shows, it's like, you know, maybe not so much. And I never blame the crowd. I'm just like, hey, you know, you win some, you lose some. You just try to stay positive.
well,
That's what I teach That's what I teach the kids that I've been teaching cartooning to over the summer. Last summer, through one of my other groomsmen, Sebastian, you know, Joe Wasserman, who was in the wedding.
Mhm.
He was instrumental in getting me a workshop at a camp for special needs people.
Nice.
Children,
And
young adults. And this is my second summer doing it, and I love every minute of it. It's
Okay,
such
that's
an
an-
amazing experience.
That's awesome.
That's another thing about you is that what people don't know again, Rich Drezen is one of the guys out there who will give you his shirt off his back. He's definitely one of those dudes. He's done a lot in Long Island in the local area when it comes to doing events with doing little workshops for kids, even corporate events for people as well. So you were doing like that for people and everything. So as far as it goes, it's great to see, and it's awesome to see where your journey, because when I first met you, it was at Inbeon Con 2016.
Yeah, my
We're
third
all
show ever.
tabling.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's the first time we met, and I think you only had issues 1 and 2 out at that time.
That's right.
So, and it just to see where you gone, and even getting to do work for you for Lucky, which
Yeah.
has been an honor. And again, you guys will definitely want to support this Kickstarter. Even if you want to get a fun comic for kids for them to start to read, it is a great comic to have in that collection. Because it's only a matter of time before you're going to see those Luckyzilla animations, because Rich has been working on those in the background somewhere.
Yeah, I've had to sit on it for several years because I just couldn't stop drawing comics. I was just like, okay, I'm not getting any younger. The animation is not getting done-er. And yeah, I'm one person. What if this fails? And that's why I started doing the comics. Long story short. And that's a rather fine and unique shirt Rich is wearing. Yes, I'm trying to make it available.
Nice.
Unfortunately, as much as I love hugepod.com, which is where I got this, HugePod, you need to talk to GoDaddy and negotiate a deal so that I can link what I have from you to my site. Because I host on GoDaddy, it's like,
So
What's
you
going
Pete
on,
gave us some
Pete?
love. Pete Vasquez was another awesome artist. He's got to work on some
Yes.
stuff for you too and everything, and
we
shows.
love Pete.
But no, guys, go support the Kickstarter. It's out. Again, congratulations on getting it fully funded. 18 backers fully funded. You need to get more backers on there. And the link is in the description for all you guys there on Facebook and on YouTube. So go in the description and the link. And again, it's a great comic. He touches up on a lot of different things. Touches up on I think the best way to talk about and really characterize your comic is that your character's being human. It's not just the superheroes being human. There's great human relationships that are in there that you showcase, and again, it's very kids friendly too. So it's a great read for kids and all that.
Oh yeah, and one of the stretch goals that we have going on, anyone at the $5 level or above gets one of these shiny things that I got in the mail today.
You know what that reminded me of, because with like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is in my head and I'm thinking 90s. I'm like, yo, what if you made Pogs a thing again?
You know,
I'm so here
funny. For it. It's so funny you mentioned that, because a couple of years ago, I was having a conversation with someone about something, and we mentioned Pogs. So I found a website that did Pogs. It might have even been through Etsy, and my in-laws, my wife's parents, they have this little dog that my wife is obsessed with. And so I got her a little barrel of like 100 of these Pogs with a picture of the dog on one side and another picture of the dog. Two of her favorite pictures of the dog Melanie on either side. And
that's awesome.
They nicknamed the dog Monkey. So I called it a barrel of monkeys.
Oh, that's cute.
Even though it's really a barrel of Pogs.
No, that's perfect though.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
man.
haven't seen it since we moved. I know it's around though.
No, but it's been good, bro. I mean, again, I congratulate you on the Kickstarter. We know that you're gonna get many more. I remember we've had the conversations back and forth. You were very nervous, but again, it was a good nervousness. There's a lot of stuff that you're gonna learn from this Kickstarter going on to the next one. And I just wish you nothing but success, brother. Again, it's always fun to see your friends succeeding in this industry, because you know, the indie comic industry it could be a little bit lonesome, a little bit harsh at times, but it's just those successes right there. Again, congratulations, brother. Keep doing it.
Yeah, likewise, man. I was very happy to really sit down and read Koncrete Kombat, and I've only like legit read the first few pages. That's because I wasn't wearing my my magnifiers, because I have old people eyes these days. But you know, seeing your work, at least just the visuals and We Suck at Comics come to fruition, I'm like, this is awesome. So you're right there with me. Don't forget about yourself, because you're one of my favorite people.
It's not about me, Rich. It's about you.
I know.
It's about you right
now. You know I love you, dude.
I'm
gonna. Yeah.
Oh.
I know. Yeah.
Yeah, we were in the wedding and all. We saw Rich get a little tipsy too. That was fun. That was fun. But
and
now
you also saw me do what was that hot sauce?
Oh
God.
Yeah, that's when it came to the house.
Last
all the way
Dab?
around to their sanity.
Yes.
Oh no.
Tone was in that video too.
Yes.
Was in the back of the room, just in the box.
180,000 on the Scoville scale. I mean, there's a feather.
You guys did it was a chip, or was it the sauce?
He did the sauce.
Oh no, it was the sauce.
Okay.
Yeah, we were all sitting there. Guy was there. Law, you were there. You were sitting in the background. I think we had just done like a whole like big pre-recording of Nerds there. It was like a whole group recording. Matt was there.
Oh, was that the one around the one night?
Yeah.
Oh
and then,
my god! Now I remember that. I was like, wait.
Rich hadn't eaten yet.
I was thinking of the one you did with Matt.
Yeah, we took Rich to Popeyes. Like, oh yeah, this hot sauce, because me and Matt had done the video, and Rich is like, I'll try it. And the video
famous
popped up
last
last
words.
Week. Yeah, that was the famous last words. He's like, oh,
could it be me? Could have been me, dog.
I could have been a contender.
So, guys, if you're watching this, join us now. Thank you for joining in. This is Rich Drezen. He's with us. Go back on demand, watch the video, check out his Kickstarter. It is out. It's fully funded. So make sure you guys are putting in there. That means that, again, this is something guaranteed to come into your lap. Book is already done, so it's not like you're waiting for him to finish any pages and all that. It's just go into the printer and then out to you guys. And the again, one of the push rewards are for those now, those shiny little stickers bringing you back to the 90s, which is what we're going to do next after this, because again, this first segment was covering the Luckyzillia. The next segment is we're going back to the 90s, covering some Ninja Turtle action. Rich got the wrist.
Ninja finish.
Yeah, I think we're gonna have
Mayhem.
we're gonna have some fun, because the other thing that people don't know about you is that you are a wealth of knowledge. So guys, we all saw Ninja Turtles this weekend. There was a lot of nostalgia. There was a lot of great stuff. It was fun.
There's a 4-year-old in my heart that is very happy.
Yes, there was. There already
Right
was.
there with you.
Let's start. Tone, we'll have you start off. How did you feel about Ninja Turtles, this movie?
Oh man, I really loved it. I thought it was a great refresh of Turtles mythology, not sticking to what we're used to, and kind of creating their own story in the world, and like, you know, taking whatever liberties that they could, but the essence of the characters were all there.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm really excited for what they're gonna do. I think this is gonna be. It's super successful now. I think it's the highest Rotten Tomatoes rated Ninja Turtles movie that we have, which means sequels. And it's like it's hitting.
Apparently, they're getting a show, like they're getting a series from it
on Paramount, probably.
Probably.
I mean, it makes sense. The boys who played the Turtles are young actors. So you know, if that's what they're gonna do, they're gonna do that. You don't really have to worry about the star-studded cast, because most of that was mostly the
96 on Rotten Tomatoes with a 92 audience score. That's wild.
Yes, Pong, it beat the one with Vanilla Ice, even though we got a Go Ninja Go drop in the movie.
Man.
It was
It was a tight 90 minutes. It was a great movie for kids. I think my kids really enjoyed it for what it was, but also like all the cultural references, all the jokes that hit for us as adults also mixed. It's got that perfect balance of what's there for kids, what's there for adults. And I'm 100% here for them to continue. And I can't wait to see my man Shredder. Like I'm here for it.
Absolutely.
Lo, what were your thoughts? And then Rich, you next.
So again, same as Tone. Like I was super excited. It was one of those things where like I saw the first trailer and I was like, oh shit, like I'm here for it. I like this take. And then as I'm leading up to the movie, because I just heard so many like good things about it, like I kept like going back to like really young 4-year-old me with my entire like blanket set of like Ninja Turtles, my book bag, like everything was Ninja Turtles for me. Like it was Ninja Turtles and Batman. Like that was my entire like
identity.
For real. Like you want to look at Law 4 or 5 years old? That's what he's into. He's a happy camper. And like it was just so much of the nostalgia, but like again, that fresh take of like, oh, they're not doing the 90s like or just the traditional like Shredder and Splinter story that we always know and you know we're familiar with. The teenagers are actually teenagers being played by teenagers, which was like, oh shit, like this is not, like you don't really get how much like that means to the characters until you see it happen and go, this is perfect. Like they needed to have teenagers.
They feel natural.
Guys. Absolutely.
Oh, yes.
There, first of all, because Seth Rogan, I think he was saying in one of his interviews that he did an animation like before, and like everyone was in the same room, and he was like, I need that. Like I need to have them all in the same room, otherwise it doesn't work. and he saw the kids' chemistry. Lion King. Thank you. I was trying to remember what it was, but yes, it was Lion King.
Only him and Billy were in the room together, and that's like Timon and Pumbaa are the best thing in that movie.
Yeah, and it shows because like the kids, like their like chemistry is so good on from what we saw. So I just had a lot of fun watching it. I thought the animation style was a really, really dope take. It gave it like the unique sense of, the grunge of New York, but like the stylized version of Ninja Turtles that like feels nostalgic and feels fresh, all those things. I love all the new like little the subtle nods of like Easter eggs, but then these subtle nods of like, we're gonna keep this character but slightly change them to give them a more modern something. So like even like how Splinter looked, but then how he fought, I was like, they literally were just like, yeah, we're gonna just rip a Jackie Chan movie because Jackie Chan is voicing him, because there's no way that those fights were not him.
It reminded me of an old school Jackie Chan movie.
Absolutely. I was just like, I'm here for it. So again, I'm getting excited just talking about like the little like tidbits, because I genuinely love this movie so much. It for me is like one of the like better of like animations that we've seen. It goes up there, I would say, with like Into the Spider-Verse. It goes like Mitchell and the Machines. Like it's one of those staple where they knew what they were doing, they got it right, and they like nailed their audience,
Rich.
Well, I don't know if I'll be able to be as articulate as Law was, but you touched on something that I think is very important. It's called Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I feel like the teenage element of the characters has kind of been lost on it since even the original Mirage comics. Because, I mean, we know they're teenagers because they're called teenagers, but through every single adaptation that, we've seen up until this point, the teenage element
might as well be in their 20s.
Yeah. And I mean, for the most part, every single one of the voice actors, the performers, they were all adults at the time that, they were performing those roles, especially Corey Feldman. But the thing that I absolutely adored about the film was that it wasn't asking any of the source material's permission to do anything. And it's not like it was trying to disrespect any source material or any iterations. The movie made itself its own. And thankfully, especially after something like Bay Turtles, because I saw that in theaters, and it was like
big ass muscle bound turtles.
Yeah, Ninja Shreks. I liked how they mentioned that at some point.
That is more visually scarring than seeing the eyes of the voice of the like person inside of the Donnie suit or whoever it was.
Oh my!
From the 90s.
Yeah, I actually have the 1990 film on Laserdisc. I just wasn't able to find it in time for the show.
I feel like I have. My sister has like a lot of the VHSs from back in the day.
No, Laserdisc. Oh, yeah. Laserdisc. They don't even
I know.
They don't even make it. Shit.
I know.
Rich is the cool kid on the block. I have the VHSs,
and they're probably better quality than DVDs. Yeah.
But oh, I'm sorry. There was one other thing I wanted to say. The characterization of April O'Neil and the characterization of Splinter were, for me, the big highlights of the film. Just hands down. I mean, Jackie Chan was tailor-made for the role of Splinter because of how human he was.
Yeah. I mean, this was a nice fresh take on Turtles, which again, it pays a lot of homage to what came before it. You see it with a lot of the Easter eggs. You see it with a lot of the mentionings, even like the Bay Turtles, when they mentioned the whole thing with Shreks. it was beautifully done because I feel like the animation style, like a lot of people try to crap on it before they saw it, but once the movie came out, it's like you see the animation style of this type of graffiti style, a little bit of grunt style. It gives you that, it feels like that gritty New York feeling, and it fit the animation. It made it pop more. And yeah,
Right.
like everybody touched upon it. This was the first Ninja Turtles where they actually had teen actors portraying the characters, and you kind of captured an innocence that we've never really saw in any of the iterations before what came out in this movie. So I think that's what made it fun watching that, because there was just these innocent that these actors had portraying these characters. You heard it in their voices, you heard of the stuff. And even with today's pop culture that they mixed in there as well, and there was just a lot of fun things. The characters, I think this is the first time that you really saw this many. They probably done it in some of the shows, but first time that we've really seen some of these mutants that were kind of like regulated to the toy line when the original Ninja Turtles cartoon came out.
I hadn't seen a lot of those like
Mondo Gecko and all that.
I love Mondo Gecko.
I went with one of my friends and they were like, "Do you remember like a lot of?" And I'm like, "I vaguely
they were
like fever dream go." Oh shit! Like I kind of recognize.
I remember Ice Cube's character from Turtles in Time.
Right, like I remember the bat. Like I remember, like there's certain characters. I'm like,
replaced Baxter Stockman's mutation, because Baxter Stockman was the Fly, so they wrote off that Baxter and he became this character. But no, a lot of the characters like Mondo Gecko, Wingnut, they were all regulated to like other stuff that never made it into anything. Like it was like in some of the comics, if you knew which ones to read, they were all, and it was the first time that you really get to see these characters make it into the animation. And again, even like making April a teen, which I think me and Tone laughed at the whole scene with like she just starts vomiting like crazy and her bear laughing too. It was just like that was just nuts. God. It was a fun movie.
The second time it happened, way funnier than the first. And I was like, she's like, I got this, and they like went through her bit. It was like, oh, never mind, but I'm gonna keep rolling.
Right.
But it was a fun movie, and even with like this was a nice take on Master Splinter, because I believe every version that we've gotten of Master Splinter has been this one cookie cutter version. Like, oh, he has to have ties to Shredder. Oh, he has to be this way because he's this master of martial arts. He wasn't really a master of martial arts. He was learning the same time as the Turtles from Jackie Chan and old school movies, which I thought was dope. And again, this was a lovely take on Splinter, which I don't know, just everything about this movie was just fun for me. It was just a fun Ninja Turtles movie, and I'm down for more. Seth Rogan really knocked it out the park. You really recovered from Sausage Game, brother. You really recovered from Sausage Game.
I mean, he's recovered from that a couple times over, but okay.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
And
you're saying it like Sausage Party was a
movie.
Yeah, like Sausage Party. Did well box office wise.
That one scene at the end,
the one scene at the end, but I will tell you right now, Sausage Party caught everyone to see it from that trailer.
Yeah.
When those carrots got blended, we were all like,
no.
Let's go see
that scene was that. Yeah, that scene caught you. It was a whole orgy at the end that went a little bit too long, where you're sitting in the theater with other people and looking like, how long is this going for? And just look at each other like, why are we seeing a falafel blow the other person?
But I will say before we get too off topic.
Yeah, let's go.
I want everyone to go around and give their favorite Easter egg and favorite like moment.
Oh man, there's just too many. I love them when Ninja when they start playing the Ice Cube song out of nowhere. That was funny. I was like, going right back to my childhood right there when we saw the Ninja Turtle movie. That was fun. And then I would say a nod to the older comics when they show them and he's doing the whole Batman thing, the Batman voice, and they show them with no pupils.
With the white eyes.
Yeah, that's a whole nod to like the Eastman and Lard comic days and everything. I'll tag in whoever's next. Yeah.
I don't know about reference. But I love all the stuff when they're like trying to before all the action happens and like they're just on the rooftops acting stupid and just acting like boys.
Yeah.
Like I'm just like, yeah, I was acting exactly like this. Like that's what I always found really, like they're just hanging out with their brothers and doing just stupid shit.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep.
Oh man, favorite Easter egg? I mean, even though I couldn't stand Bay Turtles, I liked the slight jab that it took at it. So it was just like, yeah, that was a thing. But in terms of my favorite moment, well, as you all know, one of the villains in my comics is a giant talking toilet named Royal Flush. So that should give you some indication of my one-track mind. The character motif of Vomit Girl I liked, but not so much for the reasons that you think. I mean, April O'Neil just vomiting on camera. I mean, I think because they went back to explore the teenage dynamic of everything. I mean, Vomit Girl, that's a very relatable thing for some kids. Like, you have this war on cyberbullying now, which wasn't being fought when we were kids, at least not to the degree that it is now, which is good. But I mean, you know, that touches on so many parts of that, and I think it's very important that it does, because it puts a face to what young women face, young men, young people. The internet can be a very volatile place, and especially social media. You know, certain embarrassing things can spread like wildfire. I mean, yeah, when I was being teased by someone in, I think I was in 11th grade, and they tried to keep me out of a pizzeria, and I was trying to go back in to get my backpack, and we were pushing on the same door, and the door came off the frame. I mean, if that ended up on social media, I would never hear the end of it. That's why I'm glad social media did not exist to the degree that it does now back in 2002.
Yeah. I think a lot of us are happy that it didn't. But when you said Vomit Girl, for some reason I thought of Humbug and Splinter making out. I was like, please don't tell me that was
well, it'll probably end up on DeviantArt, and that's why, you know.
Okay, there we go. The OnlyFans page. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Along with all the Sonic stuff that's on DeviantArt.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Why do I have to go after that?
You don't.
I will say, one of my favorite Easter eggs that I like, it happened so fast that I almost didn't catch that that's what it was. But the name of the high school is Eastman High. And I was just like, that is such a it's not like a, oh my gosh. But for me, it was like, it felt right. It felt so like good on you for like actually like doing your due diligence on that regard. One of my favorite parts is when they sneak out and they come back in, and Splinter's like, I'm gonna tell you the long version of the story. So they're like, oh no. And then he's like, see, do you want to get milked? And then oh
my god, the milking gag throughout the whole movie.
It was so good. Because then you get to the end, he goes, is that a milking machine? Why does that say milking machine? And then like, Dad, it's not what you think. You got milk. You see? You guys did this and at least did this. I was trying to protect my boy. Oh, it's so great. I fucking love
that's some viejo shit right there.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Also, I want to say that I always know that Juan Carlos Esposito is going to like do an amazing job. But god damn it, I need more of him just doing shit, because like in my head I was like, oh right, he's Baxter Stockman. Then I heard him, I was like, give me more, please. And then we never got him after that. I was like, why? But they don't have nipples. They don't. listen, it's a different kind of milking, and it's not a fun one.
Yep.
I don't know where they're milking from.
Can we? But going with Juan Carlo, can we talk about this cast? Because not only are the kids cast like perfectly, this cast is fucking stacked as fuck.
I love Seth Rogen and John Cena as Rocksteady and Bebop. I did not know how much I love them as but it's funny because you could hear that some the Pumbaa in what is it?
Pumbaa, you just hear the Seth Rogen.
Right. I was gonna say
you just
but
hey, I'm sorry.
Everybody, Jackie Chan, Paul Rudd, Post Malone, Hannibal Buress, Mr. Beast is in here.
Mr. Beast is there?
Mr. Beast was I believe the hot dog vendor. The Times Square guy, or whatever the case is. That's what his name is. But yeah, like everybody and their mother was in this, and it was such a
Maya Rudolph.
Yes.
Holy shit.
Rose Byrne, I think, was
the son.
Leatherhead,
The son from Married with Children was normal Nate. like that's how obscure, like they've got everybody for this movie.
It was just like, I need a friend.
Dude, it is crazy how many people like contributed, added to like make this what it was, and it didn't solely rely on the like stat cast that it had, because I think honestly, while they had a very, very talented cast, had they cast a bunch of nobodies, I think this movie still would have done well because of the chemistry of those few kids. I think the kids took that shit on their back, and then everyone added to it afterwards. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean Ice Cube was it Superfly? What was it, Ice-T? Was it?
No,
I think it was Ice Cube.
Ice Cube.
Ice-T's on SVU.
He was great. Yeah.
Ice Cube, Superfly, that was awesome. It was just hearing it. Jackie Chan again as Splinter, which again was just freaking dope. And then it was just funny because when I said introducing Paul Rudd, which I think it was a joke on them, just to mess with Paul Rudd in the credits. But Paul Rudd as Mondo Gecko.
Yeah.
Dude,
yeah,
like we got
Mondo Gecko in the cartoon was really cool. He was only in like maybe 3 or 4 episodes. The fact that, Seth Rogan being Seth Rogan, saw the value in that character and adapted him into this, it really says something about someone who really enjoys the source material. And one thing that I believe is true, it's nice to know that the actors in this film were all in the same room when they were recording, at least the 4 main ones. I think that was also the case with the original Turtles cartoon, at least with the 4 leads. Cam Clark, Rob Paulson, Townie Coleman, and Barry Gordon were all in the same room, at least, for the first season. I don't know about the others. And they also auditioned as each different turtle. Like Rob Paulson would be reading all 4 turtles, Cam Clark all 4 turtles, Barry Gordon all 4 turtles, and so on. If you look at the first season of the show, there's like some mismatched dialogue coming out of certain turtles because they hadn't quite figured who. But it's nice to know that they went for recording all in the same room. Oh yeah, that's why you can definitely see the benefit in that, because I'm sure there was some dialogue in there that was improvised. There certainly sure as hell was improvised dialogue in the original show, and it's hard not to pick up on that.
No, they probably because like if you think about it, they're all filming this, and there's probably stuff that, because they were all in the same room recording their lines, there's definitely stuff that was definitely improvised because you had this energy that's going on, especially with the kids and everything. They're probably we got to keep that.
That part where they come out of like that last person that they were beating up, wherever the case is, and April talks to them and they start doing the this, that, and third, like that whole thing was just them riffing.
Yeah.
Like it got put in eventually, like as lines, but like they were just riffing. So
Yeah.
like
It felt because it felt so natural when you hear them saying that. I'm like, yo, I was like, there was no way someone wrote that in a script.
nah,
There was
Yeah.
no way
Nah.
someone put that in the script. You had to be someone who's like in the know, in the now, and just know about that meme
but
that was
that's
going
something
around.
you can only get by letting them be in the same room together, having that
Exactly.
chemistry to be like, all right, I'm gonna just let them do their thing and just keep like the record button on.
Yeah. And that's one of the reasons why in the early days of my doing Luckyzilla, I was putting off doing a story strip. I wanted to feel the characters out, find their strengths, their weaknesses, places where I can improve. And it was just by, letting
Hugo,
the characters just be themselves, whoever their selves were. By the way, Hugo, thank you so much, man. Love you. Thanks so much for pledging. Greatly appreciate it.
Hugo's that dude.
Yep.
Hugo's been the day one supporter. Him and Arelis, love them both. Love everybody. Love everybody who's listening and watching, and especially all these guys who are also listening on the podcast, because we got a bunch of great listeners on there as well. If you're listening on the podcast on audio, make sure you guys join us on Tuesdays at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time too. Join in the show in live. Have some fun with us on all that. Yeah, so
Pong too. Wow, we got a lot of Team
It's
Pineapple in the building.
it's the stale popcorn taking over Pong's head right
What's
now.
a
It's taking over his
pineapple on that
brain.
pizza?
Oh, that's some bold words. Bold.
Pong
Say-
can come after me now.
He said, "Sir, I got a membership." Damn.
Listen, we're
I
gonna
saw-
revoke them cookies now.
I saw a poll question, something like pineapple on pizza, yay or nay. Here's a poll question: penicillin on pizza, yay or nay? From the
What are you
first
trying
movie.
to do to people?
Remember the first movie? Like,
Oh my god.
remember that line?
Oh my god.
You like penicillin on your pizza?
Dude.
Wow. Yeah, he brought it back.
Dude. Because I was like, that sounds like a line
I-
from somewhere, but I couldn't figure and I was so blown away that you said it.
forgot.
That I was
Yeah,
like,
it threw me
okay.
off. Wow. Like I tell you, Rich is a wealth of knowledge. He has it there. He'll throw it in there.
Man.
Oh man.
I usually do, even when it's
Go
even when
ninja,
it
go
throws
ninja,
it.
go.
Yeah,
Before we get into
10
the
flips
next
now.
round of questioning, I want to know,
Uh-oh.
growing up, who is the turtle that you related to most? And as an adult now, who is the turtle that you relate to now? And did it change? Rich, go first.
I would say Donatello was the one that. Well, I was Donatello for Halloween when I was 6 years old. So, I mean, I always loved Michelangelo because he was a cool one. But I think in everyone else's eyes, I was Donatello. I was the outcast. As I've gotten older, I mean, I feel like I've gone through phases where it's like, I lean more towards Leo, I lean more towards Raph, I lean more towards Michelangelo. In the last several years, I've definitely leaned more towards Raph. I'm talking like the Rob Paulson version of Raph, where I'm in certain situations where I'm the snarky one. I don't always enjoy being the snarky one. I'm just better at it than some. Sometimes to my detriment, but we won't even go into that.
Seabass.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's a hard one. I guess it really depends on what point in life that we're talking about, because there's sometimes
Like
feel-
early childhood, like first introduction.
Oh,
to
it's
turtles.
definitely it was definitely Michelangelo, because he was the fun one. Everybody wants to be Michelangelo. Raphael was a good second because you lift his weapons and all that. So Raphael also had that energy too. I would think like in the Turtles movie, it was more Michelangelo than Raphael. Later in life, when you get older, you become more of a Raphael with a little bit of Michelangelo and a little bit sprinkle of Leonardo. But I think later in life, it became more of a Raphael.
Tone?
Michelangelo as a kid. I mean, who didn't like Cowabunga Dude and Nunchucks? Right? And,
Tubuloso.
And Raph.
I can see that.
Yeah,
Raph gets a lot of love.
I
I
can see
got
that.
the lack of the anger and the lack of therapy and understanding. There's a lack of therapy, but not doing anything about it.
Oh man. Yep.
You know, in the working world, I try to be more of a Leonardo, but you know, I think at my core, I am a Raph.
Yeah. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. It takes a lot to be self-aware.
And then I go into Donatello when I start deep diving into shit. Like it just, you know, we all have our ebbs and flows of our ways. Like even like I would say Donatello now in this movie with his like, oh, Attack on Titan, I gotta find all these people. You know, this anime is like, I was like you in fucking high school for about 5 out of 7 months because I was Raphael for those other 2 when I was playing football.
Right. Oh man. Wait, what? I saw it a poll once. That's why I started going to the YMCA. What? Eebs. Yes.
I don't know.
I have a little surprise that I unearthed, which I think all of you will enjoy.
Go for it.
What you got?
Oh
wow.
Stop.
Eastman and Lard. That's that old school right there.
This is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles number 10.
Hold up, let me spill that out. I'm gonna spill it out.
Yep.
Show it again, Rich.
Yep. Hang on 1 second.
I'll
take it out of here. Yeah, this is Eastman and Laird's original Mirage Ninja Turtles number 10 from April 1987. Look at the back cover too.
Nice.
Oh wow.
Yeah. And it's in pretty decent shape, I'd say.
And it's in black and white too. When they originally,
it is.
That was one of the things too. They was like they ever did the color for the covers. All the bandanas.
Oh,
were red.
you're right. Ebs.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, all the colors were the black and white art. They were
Wait,
very.
what
very
did you
violent.
say? Did you not say Ebs?
I wrote. I think I said Ebs, and now Pong is opening the notebook for me.
Oh,
and it's Ebs and Flow. You are absolutely correct.
Unless you're a fan of Chef from the Three Stooges.
Tone gets one.
I'll take it. I will take it for that. That's okay.
So I had a mix of both names. What names do you prefer, traditional or new? As in Mikey, Michelangelo, Raph? I've always been both. Like as a kid, I've always been a Leo. Going back to that question, I was always a Leo kid, and as an adult, I'm still a Leo adult. Though I'm sure people can argue against it. I've always been a Team Leo, but I've always seen like Raph, Mikey. Like I have friends who I just call Mikey or Raph, like just because. So I use both.
I'm a mix between names because like there are times when you like when Splinter's calling them by their government name, they're in trouble. But when they're using the nicknames, there he goes. Oh,
this is Jafar.
Nice.
Yeah. What do you think? What do you prefer? Leo, Leonardo, traditional, non-traditional.
He's like, I don't care. I want food. Got that? I want food face. Give me the food.
He's already been fed.
So we talked about I don't think we've really touched too much in detail on the art style. I mean, we've mentioned it. In terms of what you guys seen with the art style for this animation, because I mean we've been hit with a slew of 3D animations, and there are very few that really stick out at all. I mean, we saw original styles that really stuck out for Spider-Verse. For me, the art style with this really helped elevate this movie, not be your standard 3D movie, because we've had 3D Ninja Turtle movies in the past where it's just like, okay, this is just another 3D movie. This felt like it had its own style customized for it to stand on its own. I mean, how did you guys feel about these visuals with this art style? And I'll add in, how did you feel about the mix when they were showing live action footage from when they were watching movies? How did you feel about that mixing in with it and how smooth it blended it as well? Tone?
I will let's see.
Oh no. Oh, tone.
It's okay. I understand.
It's a sad day. Can he at least get an asterisk? Unless like there's
it's
like
fine. It's okay.
everyone
it's
gets
okay.
one.
It happens to everybody. It's more of a footnote. Thank you, Hugo. I appreciate that. I appreciate
You
I mean, you know,
it
gives a break
all
for
the
me.
time.
No, it doesn't, because you butcher names.
Sebastian, the
Told
You are the
Val
butcher.
have one each.
You are the butcher of Blaviken of names. All right,
Wait,
anyway.
wait, Pong, do I have anything in the book yet?
I think you're
Is this
still
a
safe.
fucking death note? Like, what is going on?
Hang on a sec, guys.
Okay.
It was
Yeah. Seabass sits at 33. Is the book of Seabass's name with dishonorable mentions. Oh. Somehow no.
All right.
Okay.
Okay. So what I was gonna say
no,
about
not yet.
what was I gonna say about the animation?
Sorry
Oh,
about that.
I thought the
good?
transition and using like using the real life images was it was fine. It didn't take me out of it because it was their world and like it's supposed to be a representation of our world, but they're using this animation medium. But what I want to say about the animation is that I love that studios are taking a chance and taking a leap on different kinds of animation and not just sticking to regular cookie cutter stuff that we're used to seeing. I think Spider-Man opened the door in that way. Into Spider-Verse.
I also say Spider-Man and Love, Death, Robots. Because Love, Death, Robots was really just like...
Well, yeah, but that was an anthology series on Netflix. I mean, like on the big screen for the mass audience.
Okay.
Love, Death, Robots is still a niche audience thing, you know? That's why we get so hyped when we know someone who watches it. Because it's a niche audience thing.
Fair.
But I think Spider-Man opened the door with the way they tried to create a live action comic book, and it wasn't that cheap way of having the characters move. It worked, and I think they're taking quote unquote risks, but we're telling stories in our own unique ways and having animators come in with their own unique styles of telling a story and painting a picture, and I think it worked out great.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm a huge fan of like I think this is like a style that shouldn't work conventionally or just like shouldn't be something that, you know, is appealing or people are like, oh, what? But I think because of the story and because of the cast of characters that it's lending it to, like it's perfect, you know? Like you need that sense of like a kid drawing a comic book to give you that sense of like it's still a kid's kind of show and movie kind of feel, but also that grunge of, you know, feeling like you're in New York and feeling like you're, you know, in the thick of all this when there's, you know, mutants and monsters, and it feels very again, I'm gonna go back to like the Mitchells and was it Mitchells and Machines, where it has like all these elements that tie into the story that's being told. So it lends so well to have like the ooze look the way it did because of how the animation was made, you know. Also, ooze, it just rolls off the tongue. It's so much better.
Ooh.
How did you feel about that animation style?
For the most part, I thought it was really cool. I mean, the character designs were very unique, certainly more unique than some other movies.
I will say also, Rich,
yeah.
I wanted to ask you to piggyback off of that, of the uniqueness. How did you feel about like, because this is some of the like I think in the last 10 years I've seen the Turtles look different from each other as far as like style, aesthetic. They're starting to not like, oh, you just place a different color bandana on them and they have different weapons. Like, how did you like that? They really tried hard on this one to like differentiate them.
I mean, Donatello with glasses, I believe it.
Yeah,
I believe it. You know, it's like I see.
He was an adorable baby too.
I see 10-year-old me. I can't look at pictures of myself at 10 years old. I'm like, who is this little jerk?
Who is this guy? Who is this guy?
But the one thing I will say about the animation is, if you see it in the theater, I would recommend seeing it from, I would say, the back 2/3 of the theater, because during the fight scenes, I feel like there's a lot of these big blobs of brush strokes that fly by, and it was just a little distracting in some of the fight scenes, because I'm like, well, wait, what happened here? I mean, yeah, the style works for the most part. It's just, don't sit too close to the screen. Yeah. Don't do what I did.
I got to see it in was it Dolby something or other, like this
Atmos, I think.
Yeah, I didn't realize that was a thing, and it looked as gorgeous as it looked until like they were showing the differences in the trailer. Like they're like, look, this is how it looks, and this is how we look. And I was like, all right, cool. Then I saw the movie, and I was like, oh, this looks awesome.
Right. I should have seen that version then.
It was really nice.
Yeah.
What else did we get in this movie?
Did we answer this Yuko's question? I think you talking about Spider-Man, but it is animated.
Animated.
Yeah, it's animated. Not stop motion.
No, stop motion is the Watchmen comic book movie. They did a Watchmen comic movie.
Oh, okay, got it.
And it's like a stop motion-esque thing. It's like, or with the comic, and it's when they were milking Watchmen.
Gotcha.
Yes.
This was
it's not giving Alan Moore a dime because he said fuck you.
No, the animation was beautifully done, and to your point, Law, I do like that it's because that's something I didn't really think about, is that they did give the turtles their very own individual looks. It wasn't like we got a palette swap. Whereas like, okay, we're just gonna change your bandana, we're gonna change your shade of green. Like and even like when you look at like Raphael's bandana, it wasn't just a bandana, it was like a bandana headband head over his head, like a whole do-rag situation. And then again Donatello with his glasses. And it was just, I don't know, it was just funny. It's like you saw the energy of these kids, and even when they show at the end when they finally get accepted and they're going to high school, just their individual style of clothing fit who they were and who they are.
It was so accurate. Like
yeah.
Like I saw it and I was like, no. And then I was like, yeah, it fucking works.
Mm-hmm.
And I think this is the first iteration, like how we've been talking about, that it showcases them being teenagers. This is the first time we're getting to see them do something where they're actually getting to interact and actually go to high school, which you get at the end.
Is this the first time?
Even though it was short,
truly in the public eye.
Yeah.
Kind of.
The original cartoon had them in the public eye in some seasons.
I mean, when you're driving that truck.
Yeah,
it's hard not to be honest.
But I think this was a degree where it's like, even though it wasn't throughout the whole movie, this was at the end. This was, I think, the first iteration where you saw them actually interacting with even people of their age and everything in a high school setting. And you saw their individuality coming out. Like Raphael was in sports. He was doing wrestling. Michelangelo was doing the stand-up comedy. Donatello was with the anime kids, and that they're on there on their computers. And then Leo is still chasing April and going through puberty. But he's trying to help her with her club and all that. It was cute. It was fun. It was like, again, I think that's what made this movie and this iteration of Turtles very fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I love the end where Donnie's like, "Look, I found my people." Like that,
on the back.
It's so like, again, like the genuine like enthusiasm of being a teenager, wanting acceptance, and like having that like experience of being like, "Yo, I found my tribe." Like your schmuck. Your faces are like the only ones I have to see before I die. Like that whole scene.
Yeah.
When it was like, oh my god. Like, first of all, as someone with siblings, fully understand that feeling of like, Yours is not the last face I want to see. I want to get out of this house so badly. So then to then find your own like crew, your own people, your own friends is a really, really dope feeling, you know? And like them getting it towards the end, like you really got to see them like being their own, and it was nothing but good things about this movie. I wanted to go see it again already.
I can't wait for another one of these. You know, I mean, it's like, you know, they already hinted at what's next, but I'm wondering.
I was so surprised that they like didn't have him at all, and I was like, are they just not gonna do Shredder? And then like for him to come at the end, I was like, oh.
I knew like so when I looked up if they were doing a stinger, and I was like, oh, they're doing a stinger. I was like, oh, we're gonna see Shredder. I was like, I'm waiting for when they cut to Maya Rudolph's character, because like either they're gonna do. I was like, they're gonna do two things. Either she's gonna say, "Get me the Foot Clan," or we're gonna pan over to Shredder somewhere, and we got Shredder on the outskirts of the city, which I think is
perfect.
Yeah, I mean that also leads me to wonder. Okay, Shredder, yes, obviously, but you know, you've got the dynamic between Leonardo and April O'Neil that gives you the opportunity for Casey Jones.
And
a
high school Casey, that'd be crazy.
Probably on the wrestling team with Raph.
Could be,
or he could just be the kid who's a high school dropout.
That's a possibility. Yeah, and you know, with Bebop and Rocksteady, you know, kind of, you know, floating around with Superfly, and getting a chance to be heroes like that floored me. I'm like, wow.
So I want to know how that plays out when Shredder comes and recruits them, and how
that would be interesting.
Well, see, I didn't think he was going to do that. I figured because I don't know if we needed the. I thought they were really, because that was like one of the big things that stood out for me was Bebop and Rocksteady not staying bad guys essentially, and I was like, and then they showed Shredder. I was like, okay, they're not going to just switch them out just to have them switch out and have it be a conflict for them to kind of go through this whole thing. So I'm thinking, is it going to be Shredder? You're going to have Shredder, and then that company creates Krag, and we get the two of them.
Or you really bring back Toka and Razor too.
Masters say have fun.
I'll bring back no. There's a lot of for me, like at that ending too, when all the mutants got together, it's like they got a whole family that they didn't have.
Yeah.
Where it was just them and Splinter. Now it's like this whole extended family where now it's like you kind of, I guess, got Humbug as the stepmom.
This is a very refreshing change of pace from what we got when we were kids, from the shows, from the movies, from what have you. Even like, so the last, I think, anything Turtles that I've done recently was The Last Ronin, which was incredible. Oh my god, I didn't know how much I needed to have that. But it was so dark, and you felt so bad the entire time. Like the entire time.
Last Ronin's dark as shit.
Oh my god, you're just there, just like.
Okay, it's okay when these boys are like in their adulthood. That's when we'll get Last Ronin.
Right.
Like 20 years from now, we're gonna have this original cast.
Nickelodeon can't do it.
Paramount can do it.
The Paramount's gonna be a full Paramount production.
Listen, they're gonna go a Harry Potter path where it's all
listen,
light.
You guys got older.
We're gonna Voldemort.
You guys did all the kid stuff. We're now gonna bring in some real animation, America animation, and we're gonna do The Last Ronin.
Because like
3 of you are gonna die, and you're gonna be ghosts.
Not gonna lie, the scene where he's like, your faces are like not the last faces I want to see before I go, or something like that. Like that whole scene, I immediately thought of Last Ronin, and I was like, if only you guys understood what you're saying. Because oh shit, and then you just end up feeling so bad for Mikey. Like,
yeah.
The entire time.
It's a great story. But yeah, I mean, I would have to say, Ninja Turtles is they're back. They're no longer regulated to the Michael Bay abominations that we had.
5 cowabungas because I'm sure if Val saw it, she'll give it a
5
cowabunga too.
cowabungas.
Five out of 5.
Cowabunga it is then. God, I love that fucking meme so much.
Yeah, and Booyakasha. I mean, I watched the first half dozen episodes of the 2012 Ninja Turtles, and I liked it, but my mind was also on a bunch of other things. So I'm like, let this generation have it. It's theirs. I mean, I'm sure I would enjoy it, but let everyone else.
It's one of those that opens up. It's a great way to open up to a newer generation, but at the same time, it still brought along that nostalgia for the older generation. There's just no hating this movie, and if you hate this movie, you're just dead from the waist up.
Yeah, you're missing out. I mean, I would say, even if you're not a fan of Turtles, go see the movie because it will leave you with something that you didn't have when you came in.
Absolutely. Well said.
And I'll go one step further. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles began as an independently produced black and white comic by 2 dudes from New England who used their tax return money to print 3,000 copies of this comic book that started as a joke. One guy draws a turtle with nunchucks. Another guy refines that design and is like, And the other guy comes back and is like, well, what if there's more of them? And it just kind of snowballs from there.
I still love that
now
the Turtles got affected by the same ooze that blinded Daredevil.
Interesting.
Do you not know that?
I do now.
So
Daredevil fights the hand.
Daredevil fights the hand. Turtles fight the foot, but the truck that fell off, the truck that got the acid or whatever the case is, the chemicals into Daredevil's eyes.
Mm-hmm.
That same truck had something fall out of it and fall into the sewers. That same thing was the ooze that grew the turtles.
Now is the ooze of any relation to the toxic waste that transformed Melvin Junko into the Toxic Avenger by chance?
I have no idea.
I mean,
That
it was
would
a
be
truck.
wild.
It was a truck that he drove into. So and the truck drove into New Jersey.
I'm surprised you comic nerds didn't know that. I'm very, very
Listen, somebody gotta get the license plate of that truck, man.
I got one.
Yeah.
Someone gotta get the license plate of that truck. It's just dropping ooze everywhere.
Yeah.
So, Rich, we want to thank you for coming on the show, man. Guys, go support his Kickstarter.
There was
and
pizza,
links.
Hugo. Lots of pizza.
There was a lot of pizza. But yeah, make sure you guys are going there to go support Rich as well. Rich is on Kickstarter right now. The link is in the description. This is your chance to get the Luckyzillia collection #1, which collects the first 6 issues to a comic book that has been running for 34 issues since 2016. These books were out of print, but now you can get them in this one big collection, which will also this webcomic when he was doing the webcomic from 2016 to when 2018, right?
2015 to 2021, the webcomic ran from. These books were published from June of 2016 to October of 2017.
So again, these books are out of print, so now you can get them. So they're already printed. All you gotta do is support the Kickstarter. These books, all you have to do is be shit out to the printer. Great thing is, again, too, if you wanted to get some great comics for kids, this is also very kid friendly as well. Great story. Rich does touch up on a lot of different issues out there. It's a very human story. And Luckyzillia just all around has been his love child, has a great character. And again, Rich is one of the many that we know that he will give you the shirt off his back. Rich is just one of those guys. So go ahead. Kickstarter is fully funded, so that means that anything that goes towards it now is helping with push rewards, and one of those is one of those nice little foil stickers.
Yes.
Did I plug it right?
Yes. Here's the proof that they gave me.
Yeah. Also, too, look at that proof. Look at that sticker. Also, too, next week while you guys are still supporting this Kickstarter, going out there, sharing it with your friends, families, loved ones, co-workers, cab drivers, Uber drivers,
Waitresses.
there you go. There's the tip right there. Sign up for Kickstarter. Next week, we're going to have a nice little fun open episode. We're going to be talking about a lot of different subjects we didn't get to talk about, a lot of different movies that we missed, such as we might touch up. I may tell you guys about Indiana Jones and how to avoid it. But it's just going to be an open episode next week.
But not watching it. But,
I'm not watching it. I'm waiting for it to go on Disney Plus.
Don't even wait for Disney Plus. Don't even waste those hours.
I might have to go check out Mission Impossible at some point if I can try to catch it.
I don't even know if it's in theaters, but Oppenheimer we saw was really good. Barbie was
I haven't had a chance to see either of those.
Open episode Pong. I want to say I got of all the movies. Yeah, Barbie and Oppenheimer were two big movies we saw.
I saw Justice League Warworld the other day, which was like I'm of the mindset where I love DC animation, but I'm also very curious to see where they're going with it. So
is it because they're doing their own thing now and they're not doing the comics?
They are doing the comics, but they're not at the same time. So I'm like, because I feel like they're going into crisis right now.
Oh, they are doing. They're doing that movie. They're doing the Crisis movie, and
they are.
I didn't see Elementals.
Okay.
Also, to
and Pong. It is not what you think, and it's amazing.
Also, to may touch up on some Twisted Metal next week. May touch up on My Adventures of Superman because there's just a lot of stuff that came out.
I can talk about My Hero because I read it. I don't need to watch it.
There you go.
I'm now ahead of everybody again. You know.
Wow.
Well, it's 50 more values come out now. But anyway, yeah, it's gonna be a fun episode next week.
We're in the final battle. We're in the final battles now.
We're in the finals ones. We're in the last of the South Throat. So anyway, this has been a fun episode. Rich, thank you again for coming on.
Yeah.
Guys, again, go check out the Kickstarter. This has been your boy Sebastian.
Been your boy Law.
And your boy Tone from across the hall.
And catch you guys next week.
I'm Rich Drezen.
And for poops and giggles, we have.
Well, here's something that was on my mind. You've heard of the Impossible Burger, and the Impossible Chicken Sandwich, and Impossible Nuggets, but have you heard of the Impossible Banana? You should have, because it's really just a hot dog.
God,
you're welcome.
3, 2, 1, go.